let me get into it anyway. So, righto, guys. What we're sort of talking about today is some of the struggles that parents have been going through when it comes to looking after raising boys and girls, right? And this is a relevant thing for pretty much everyone who's watching these videos, because part of what I do and the reason I'm doing them is so that it is easier for parents to actually raise their kids, and they've got some assistance from someone who does self-defense and martial arts, which can be really, really beneficial when looking at building things like confidence or resilience or discipline or any of those sorts of things. And they're things that I specialize in and I really, really love doing. So I put a couple of questions up on my Facebook page this week. Let's just bring these up for you guys. Make these a little bigger. Oh, hold on. I need to be on there. Right. So this is what I've been looking at this week, and one of the questions is, what's the biggest difficulty you have raising a girl? And here's what some of the parents have said on this and some of their thoughts. And the common theme, apart from, some of the sort of the jokes and fun stuff about it, doesn't want to load apparently, is the attitude that will come from girls. Brushing hair is a big one. I don't really have a lot of solutions for that one. I'm not sure that anyone really does. It's just one of those daily struggles that you sort of have to do. You probably find ways to make it exciting. I'm not the one with those answers. But attitude for girls, I think, is a natural thing for a lot of them, especially once they start getting to the puberty range. So I wouldn't be too worried about those things. It's okay. It's a normal thing for girls to be, think they're cooler than you, and you're no longer a cool parent, and they don't want to hang around you, and they start being more serious. They start, all that sort of playful nature of being a child goes away as they're starting to try and see where they fit in the world, where they fit with their peer group, and that's fine. It's normal stuff. So I wouldn't be too worried about that if I was a parent. Just that's normal, right? It's part of the process. One of the things that is handy to be aware of is that as they're... Oh, let me do that. Oh, damn it. Bang. I'm just playing around with this live stuff and trying to work out how to make it all work. One of the things that I would suggest is that if you can make an environment or build a level of trust with your daughters that is just so insanely strong, then what's going to happen is when they make bad decisions, which they will, because everyone does, we do, we all have, we will continue to. When they make those bad decisions, hopefully, the idea is that they feel safe enough that they can come and discuss that with you and get help from you. And then you can use it as an opportunity for growth so that next time through they can actually make a better decision. That would be my strongest suggestion there. How you do that, I think, is brutal honesty, giving them the best sort of environment they could possibly have to feel comfortable sharing things with you, whether it be about boys, whether it be about food, or whether it be about parties that they're going to, or drinking, or any of those sort of things growing up. If they feel safe enough that they can discuss pretty much anything with you, obviously still having to find that balance between discipline and not being their friend. That's important. You have to differentiate between parent and friend. Definitely get along with them. You have to be able to discipline them. For them to feel safe, like they're not going to be judged when they come and talk to you is insanely important. That would be the thing I see as most important for the girls, right? When it comes to the boys, and I know this is a common thing, let's find that. Where's the boys one? When it comes to raising boys, one of the things that came up was single parents, right? and this can be a tough one because you've got to a point where your partner, but the guy that you were with, you can often realize that was a bad decision. And then you in a situation where you've got kids and you're like, oh crap, how do I deal with this? If you know it's a bad choice and you need to remove your children from that environment, that's an important decision to make. For boys, it is insanely important that they have positive male role models in whatever form that might be. Through martial arts lessons, self-defense, that can be a great way to find them. The caution that I would have for you there is whether or not you're choosing someone who only cares about like ego and looking big and looking cool. That can be a really big downside. So you need to make sure that that isn't what's going on. You have to pick role models who genuinely care, like have a healthy respect for themselves, but not in a way that's respect for them, not in a way that they think that they're good because they're better than everyone else. That's not healthy. And that's your job as a parent to choose who those people are. The ways that you could go about finding those positive role models for boys, male role models, sports would be a very, very strong suggestion of mine. Ideally, things that they're already interested in. So that could be, martial arts or self-defense. Like I've got a free week of lessons. If you want to join up to that, then they'll get that exposure to someone like myself. If you're watching this, hopefully you think that I'm a good bloke. The other options like motorbike riding, horse riding, things that are physical. They don't have to be things that are super dangerous. Like footy can be a great one. Rugby union, rugby league, AFL, soccer, or football if you call that football. All those things can be really good, but the really important thing is not just the sport, it's who's teaching them, who's instructing them, who are they looking up to, who do they respect while they're doing this sport. Because that is a really important part of what's going to flow through to their development and their perception of what a man is and who they want to be as a man or a developing man. All right. The other things could be, maybe your child's not super interested in sports, things like that. Go do music, go do art, go do whatever. But find a powerful and positive male role model for your boy. Very important. If your boy has just been raised by girls, he's not going to understand the traits of masculinity that are very, very important to his development. He needs strong, positive male role models around him. Very, very important. And that would be my thoughts there. And I know it's a real struggle for a lot of people. So I hope that some of my videos online can actually be of benefit to that. Because I believe that when you can expose young boys to positive male role models, I think it's one of the most powerful things that can happen. And we're in a world, in a time in the world at the moment where there's not many male figures standing up for the good things about being a man, what's really positive. So you've got a whole mob of boys that are growing up being told, either consciously or subconsciously, that being a male is a bad thing. And that's a very hard thing to reconcile when you can't do anything about that. And also, it's a complete bloody lie. There are bad guys out there. I'm not saying that every guy's a saint. There are also horrible, horrible women out there. Horrible women, in my opinion, far worse than anything the guys would do. And I think the worst women of the world do a lot worse than the worst men of the world on a smaller scale. I think men can do it on a bigger scale, but it's still less. And it's important to get away from the bad women and get away from the bad men. Find the good of both genders, and for your kids, you want your kids to be around those positive figures in whatever way that is for you. So I hope that gave you some ideas. If you've got any questions or thoughts on that, chuck them in the comments. I'll get back to you. But if you want the free week for your kids to do some lessons with me and some of the virtual stuff and exposed to some of the lessons and things that we go through for kids, links in the description. Hit it, chuck your email in, and those videos will come out. straight away. And there's as you go through our programs, there's opportunities to do live interactions where I get to have that one-on-one connection with the kids or that personal interaction. And it's really powerful. I love teaching. I miss it enormously in the format that I used to do it. But it's important, and this is a really important thing for men to have those male role models where they work out what it is that they actually want to do, what they want to contribute to life, and why, and then actually taking the steps to go and implement it. Sometimes, believe me, that hurts and it's painful, but it's an important thing for young boys and young men to be able to make those short-term sacrifices for massive long-term gains in their life for what they believe is right and what they believe is correct. Male role models, very, very important. So I encourage you, if you don't have male role models in your young boy's life, find them actively, whatever way that you can. And you be the judge because you're the parent. You're the one that makes those decisions. Cool. Right. I hope that was beneficial. I need to work out how to end this now. So let's go over here. And I'll end that stream. Thanks, guys. Bye.